There's a question I never thought I'd have to genuinely answer, but here we are. Who is McKinley Richardson, and why are people pretending she's anything more than a TikTok tier of peddler with a ring light and a god complex? Now to be clear, when I say famous, I don't mean accomplished. I don't mean talented. I don't even mean likable. I mean she's recognizable. Not because she did something impressive, but because she's part of a new wave of clout-addicted online performers who somehow mistake thirst traps, fake drama, and bad skits as a career path. And sadly, it's working. At the time of this video, McKinley Richardson, whose name sounds more like a retired senator than a content creator, is known primarily for two things. Her OnlyFans content, which she shamelessly promotes on platforms kids use. Her on-again, off-again situationship with Jack Doherty, also known as YouTube's screaming golden retriever in human form. Together, they've carved out a niche in the algorithm by doing what every LA clout couple does. Make fake relationship content. Stunt in rented houses, promote OnlyFans links to an audience that's definitely underage, and call it grind set. Now, if this sounds familiar, it should. We've seen this blueprint before. The difference is, McKinley isn't even pretending to be subtle. Her videos regularly include skits that are so poorly acted you'd swear they were parodies. Except they're not. She's serious. And the worst part? Kids are watching. It's one thing to sell adult content behind a paywall. It's another to target content toward a young, impressionable audience while simultaneously linking to your explicit content. That's not just inappropriate. That's manipulative. That's calculated. Let's start with the basics. McKinley posts suggestive short-form content on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram, all platforms where the majority of algorithmic reach includes minors. The style is always the same. Would you rather? Style baiting with sexual undertones. Over-edited skits with 2014 Vine humor. Overreactions, crop tops, fake arguments, bad acting, and all of it. Every single one of these videos leads directly to the same conclusion. Go subscribe to my OnlyFans, but it doesn't stop there. Her content is littered with thumbnails that look like YouTube kids clickbait, but the actual video includes adult themes, often referencing sex or teasing lewd behavior in what's supposed to be a comedic way. The issue here isn't just the cringe, it's the demographic. Scroll through her comment sections. Scroll through the fans she interacts with. Scroll through the people she surprises on the street in her videos. They're kids. And this is where it goes from morally questionable to outright predatory. Let's be honest, no grown man is standing on a sidewalk shaking with excitement because he bumped into McKinley Richardson. That kind of fan reaction comes from middle schoolers, but she doesn't stop it. She encourages it, she plays into it, and then she plugs her OF. There's a reason YouTube cracked down on creators cross-promoting adult content in children's content. But here's the loophole people like McKinley abuse. They don't post porn on YouTube. They just post content that's suggestive enough to drive traffic, and then redirect viewers to their OF links. It's plausible deniability. Oh, I'm just doing a skit. Oh, I'm just pretending to talk about sex. Oh, I didn't know my audience was that young. Yeah, sure. And I'm sure all those 10-year-olds subscribed because of your compelling character arcs and sharp script writing. Let's make something clear. McKinley Richardson is not a victim of the internet. She's a willing participant in the race to the bottom. She knows what sells, and she knows exactly who it's selling to. And instead of drawing boundaries, she built a brand on making it easier for kids to stumble into adult content. And then there's her relationship with Jack Doherty, if you can even call it that. From the outside, their love story looks like a content farm. A mutually beneficial clout exchange where real affection takes a back seat to camera time. They flirt in public for clicks. They argue for thumbnails. They break up on stream. They script fake drama. And they reconcile just in time for another video to drop. You know what that's called? It's not love, it's a business model. And let's not forget the infamous hospital stunt, where Jack literally flips a golf cart on her and she ends up in a hospital bed, while the camera keeps rolling. No concern, no seriousness, just get the shot. McKinley is clearly okay with it. Not because it's healthy, but because it's profitable. That's the key word in everything we're about to expose. Profitable. Because at the core of McKinley Richardson's persona is one truth. She doesn't care what the content is, who it affects, or who it reaches, as long as it converts into cash. Let's break down the machine. McKinley Richardson isn't just another pretty face with a ring light and a phone. She's part of a content mill. One built on manufacturing low-effort chaos and selling the illusion of drama to rake in money. The formula? Simple. Exploit suggestiveness. Perform fake relationship drama. Tease just enough to bait clicks. Funnel the traffic to OnlyFans. Rinse, repeat, bank. And it works. Why? Because her target audience doesn't even know they're being played. These are kids who grew up with prank videos, relationship vlogs, YouTube shorts. They don't understand boundaries, and McKinley uses that to her full advantage. She creates parasocial bait, the idea that you, the 13-year-old viewer, could one day meet her, or get a shout-out, or be in the next video. And while your brain is still in developmental purgatory, she's guiding you down a path where her body is the product and your wallet is the goal. What makes it worse is that it's disguised as entertainment. Take her viral skits, the ones she calls Jobs versus OnlyFans. These are played off as satire, but the message is very clear. OnlyFans is easier. OnlyFans pays more. OnlyFans gives you freedom. In one now-deleted short, she walks into a bakery, complains about being asked to clean dishes, and immediately storms into the bathroom to take pictures. Cut to her icing a cupcake and handing it to a customer with her explicit content printed on top as a joke. That's not funny. That's just unhinged. That's not humor. That's marketing, with the sole intention of normalizing adult content for minors. Now imagine that same video flipped. A man walks into a store, refuses to work, goes into the bathroom to take pics of his junk, and hands you a donut with his off promo on it. You'd call the cops. You'd probably need therapy. And you'd definitely never see that man again because he'd be in jail. So why is it different when McKinley does it? Because she's a woman? Because it's just a skit? Because the edits include funny sound effects and sparkles? No, it's different because platforms like TikTok and YouTube let it slide, and that's what makes her brand especially dangerous. She's not just exploiting young viewers, she's manipulating algorithmic blind spots. She knows exactly how much she can get away with without getting banned. She knows what type of titles won't trigger content moderation. She knows how to create thumbnails that look innocent but click through to suggestive garbage. It's all engineered. This is not improvisation, this is manipulation. And then there's the financial side. Multiple claims from people inside her circle, including Jack Doherty's ex-cameraman, allege that Jack and McKinley operate their own off-management ring, taking as much as 80–90% from the women under them. These girls aren't just there to create content. They're props. Walking assets in a media factory that sells sex under the guise of lifestyle entertainment. And McKinley isn't a prisoner in that system. She's a co-founder. She knows what she's doing when she posts a story half-naked with a swipe-up link. She knows what she's doing when she makes kid-friendly thumbnails with adult innuendo in the title. She knows what she's doing when she asks children in public if they're subscribed to her. Don't forget, this is the same person who literally scripted a skit where she tells Jack's mom about her OnlyFans at the dinner table. That's not just weird. That's psychotic behavior. The mom is visibly uncomfortable. The dad doesn't even know what's happening. And McKinley's sitting there smirking like she's auditioning for Keeping Up with the Degenerates. It's all performative. Nothing is sacred. Every moment is a potential promo. And it's that total lack of self-awareness, or maybe just total lack of shame, that makes her content so toxic. Because she doesn't care about impact. She doesn't care about influence. She doesn't care who gets affected. All she cares about is views and conversions. And when people call it out, she plays dumb. Oh, it's just acting. Oh, it's just a joke. Oh, it's just the algorithm. Let's be real. If she can upload a skit where she twerks for tips while pretending to work a minimum wage job and call it commentary on society, she can take accountability for what she's doing, but she won't. Because accountability doesn't pay. Outrage does. That's the business model. The more people complain, the more traffic she gets. And here's where it gets even darker. The more outrageous the content, the more she doubles down. When people called out the cupcake stunt, she posted more fake Job versus OF videos. When fans criticized her for baiting minors, she doubled down on street interviews with teen boys. When her own leaked video got mocked online, she used it to plug her paid content while pretending to be violated for sympathy. There is no real McKinley. There is only the algorithm version of her. And behind that version is someone who has built a brand on cheap stunts, softcore bait, zero integrity, and a complete disregard for boundaries. This is not someone who made it in the industry. This is someone who cheapened it for everyone else. Let's talk about the relationship. Or should we say, the content partnership that wears the mask of a relationship. McKinley Richardson and Jack Doherty, on the surface, are your typical Gen Z internet couple. But dig even an inch beneath that surface and the whole thing collapses like a Jenga tower made of plastic surgery and rented Teslas. They post like they're Bonnie and Clyde, but they act like scriptwriters for a failed TikTok soap opera. Let's be real. This relationship is as authentic as a YouTube apology video filmed in front of a ring light. You don't need a forensic team to figure this out. Just look at the clips. It's a never-ending parade of public fights that just happen to be perfectly timed for camera. Fake cheating skits. Jack filming McKinley getting harassed by another man and laughing it off. McKinley faking emotional breakdowns only to plug her a minute later. Or Jack literally flipping a golf cart on her and turning her hospital trip into content. Imagine being hospitalized and your boyfriend's first move is to record a TikTok captioned, "She almost died, not clickbait." The most twisted part? She's in on it. She's not some manipulated victim. She's a co-star. She monetizes her own pain. She acts through her own humiliation. Because for her, every embarrassing moment is just another funnel to her subscription links. Now, if that was the extent of the problem, a toxic couple filming garbage for clout, we could all roll our eyes and move on. But it's worse than that. Because this content is reaching millions, and a huge chunk of that audience is young, impressionable, and looking for role models. Instead, they get McKinley, a woman whose version of a relationship includes getting groped in public and laughing it off for likes, faking orgasms in skits while Jack sits next to her like a sedated Labrador, letting another man slap her while calling it a prank and Jack doing nothing, using the phrase, "I slap her when I fuck her" in a scripted video with zero hesitation. And it's all branded as content. This isn't just cringe. It's grooming material disguised as comedy. And somehow this is the relationship kids are being fed as normal. This is what they're internalizing. That love means letting your partner be disrespected for views. That intimacy is just another marketing ploy. That your value is your body, your drama, and your ability to turn humiliation into money. And while they're busy LARPing as Logan and Josie 2.0, they're also cheating on each other behind the scenes. Because yes, it gets worse. Remember that little bombshell dropped by Jack's own ex-cameraman? The one who casually confessed in an interview that McKinley cheated on Jack with him. In the house Jack paid for under the same roof, within days of meeting? Yeah, that wasn't clickbait. That actually happened. Straight from the dude's own mouth. She got under the covers, we did some stuff. Jack walked in, looked around, left the room, and we went back to it. What kind of relationship is that? Here's a better question. What kind of person is that? This wasn't a one-time mistake. This was a woman so disconnected from actual intimacy that she saw cheating as a casual Tuesday. And even when it came to light, there was no public apology, no remorse, just more videos, more flirting, more monetization of chaos. Because again, the goal is never trust. The goal is traffic. This entire relationship exists on a framework of mutual exploitation. Jack gets views from having a hot girlfriend. McKinley gets views from playing the victim or the flirt. They both gain subs. They both plug their OnlyFans. And the entire relationship is just a recurring sketch show with sex appeal and absolutely zero soul. And this isn't just damaging to them, it's damaging to the culture around them. Because kids, literal 10, 12, 14-year-olds, are being fed this non-stop. That love is content, that cheating is casual, that respect is optional, that dignity is a punchline. And what makes it unbearable is that McKinley doesn't just allow it, she drives it, she initiates it, she performs it, she monetizes it. Even her cheating becomes content. She's not embarrassed. She's not held accountable. She just laughs, shrugs it off, and makes another thirst trap. She's built her brand on being a clout chameleon, adapting to whatever drama makes the most noise. One week, she's the perfect girlfriend. The next week, she's flirting with other guys. The week after that, she's crying on stream. And right after, subscribe to my OnlyFans. This isn't reality. This is rot. This is what happens when the line between real life and digital spectacle disappears. When relationships become monetizable drama arcs and betrayal becomes a YouTube plot twist. McKinley isn't just participating in this, she's shaping it. And if you're still sitting there thinking, well, maybe she's just young, maybe she'll grow out of it, ask yourself one question. How many careers have ever been built on dishonesty, exploitation, and underage fan baiting, and ended in anything other than collapse? That's where this is headed. And we haven't even touched the worst part yet. At some point, every digital facade breaks. Every fake relationship gets exposed. Every manipulator runs out of new angles. And McKinley Richardson is on the verge of that moment. Because for all the manufactured chaos, the algorithmic seduction, the monetized dysfunction, the public is starting to notice. What once passed as edgy comedy now feels uncomfortable. What once looked like baddie confidence now just looks like a desperate cash grab. And what once built her fan base is now beginning to repel it. Here's the turning point. When you oversaturate your brand with drama, there comes a moment where your audience gets tired of pretending it's real. And right now, McKinley is there. Her fake crying doesn't sell anymore. Her breakup videos get eye rolls instead of sympathy. Her work versus OnlyFans skits are more cringe than click. Her leaked tapes don't generate shock, they generate roasts. In other words, the script is worn out, and the numbers are showing it. Engagements on her recent videos are slipping. Comments are more mocking than supportive. People are openly saying they don't believe her or Jack anymore. Even fans are tired of seeing the same recycled plot lines. Fake jealousy, fake fights, softcore bait, rinse and repeat. You can only gaslight your audience for so long before they become immune to your tactics. Now the mask is slipping, and what's underneath isn't iconic. It's empty, because behind all of it, the fake laughs, the clickbait tears, the viral breakdowns, is a girl who doesn't know who she is without the performance. There is no identity outside of the views, no purpose outside of the paycheck, no relationship that's not transactional, no moment that isn't content. And deep down, she knows it. That's why she doubles down. That's why she leans even harder into the absurd. That's why every week gets more extreme, more embarrassing, more exposed. She's not growing. She's spiraling. Because that's what happens when your entire self-worth is tied to being online. When the content slows down, she doesn't rest. She panics. When a scandal breaks out, she doesn't retreat. She exploits it. When real life comes knocking, she's already filming it. This isn't influencer burnout. This is a person caught in digital self-destruction. She's tried every avenue. Softcore thirst traps, fake relationships, skits, viral drama, emotional manipulation, even pretending to be the victim when people called her out. And now, none of it's working like it used to. Even her OnlyFans, once her golden ticket, is being clowned across Reddit, Twitter, and YouTube. Not just because of the leaked content, but because of the performance. Because it's not sexy. It's sad. When your entire brand is, look at me, but the world starts to look away. You either evolve or you crash. And McKinley is not evolving. She's still locked into the same playbook that got her famous. But that playbook doesn't work when people have seen behind the curtain. And here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Nobody's scared of clout anymore. 5 years ago, influencers had mystique. Now, we know your relationships are fake. We know your lifestyle is rented. We know your audience is farmed through manipulation. We know your viral moments are scripted. And McKinley's brand is a case study in this crash. She had the audience. She had the virality. She had the spotlight. And she abused all of it. For what? Some fast money? A mansion with rented furniture. A boyfriend who filmed her injuries. An audience that's turning against her. And a future that looks a lot like irrelevance. Here's what's coming. The scandals will escalate. She'll try even harder. She'll fake another breakup. She'll drop emotional videos. She'll cry on TikTok, say she's quitting, and plug her OF in the same breath. She'll pretend to reinvent herself, then post the same content with a slightly new font, because that's all she knows how to do. But it won't matter, because people are already walking away. Because creators like her are being replaced by people who actually offer something more than shock value. Because clout is cheap now, and people are tired of being sold the same empty product. McKinley Richardson isn't an icon. She's a cautionary tale. A walking billboard for what happens when you trade integrity for attention. And as the views dwindle, the money dries up, and the lights fade, all she'll be left with is the echo of an audience that once cared, but grew up, and realized she never did. Let's say this clearly. McKinley Richardson isn't just a bad influencer. She's a symbol of what happens when the internet rewards all the wrong things. We live in an era where actual talent, genuine storytelling, or moral boundaries mean less than who can lie the loudest, show the most skin, and fake just enough emotions to farm engagement. McKinley figured that out early, and instead of resisting it, she leaned in full speed. She became the prototype for everything broken about social media. A pretend relationship sold as real love. Explicit content marketed as empowerment. Groomer bait skits disguised as humor. Fake tears to sell real subscriptions. And the full destruction of boundaries in the name of clout. But here's the twist nobody told her. That formula, it doesn't scale. Because the audience changes. People grow up. New scandals get more attention. Algorithms rotate. And what once shocked the system gets old fast. McKinley's been running on fumes for a while now. She knows it. That's why the content is getting desperate. More nudity, more chaos, more outrageous pranks, more clickbait fake-outs, more drama with Jack she can't even pretend to care about. It's the classic burnout spiral. And the worst part is, there's nothing waiting for her at the bottom. Because when you've built your identity entirely around being controversial, messy, and half-naked, there is no rebrand. No one's lining up for McKinley's clean era. Nobody wants her makeup line. Nobody wants her podcast. Nobody's putting her on a Netflix doc. Why? Because she hasn't built anything real. She didn't build trust. She didn't build community. She didn't build respect. She didn't build value. She built noise. And noise doesn't last. There are thousands of girls just like her on TikTok right now. Younger, hungrier, less exposed, ready to copy her whole playbook. and the platform will reward them for it, until it spits them out too. McKinley just happened to be the first one through the meat grinder, and now she's on the decline, pretending nothing's wrong, while quietly watching her metrics collapse behind the scenes. So where does it end? Probably with some public meltdown, masked as a raw and real vlog, or a desperate rebrand, or some viral attempt to address the haters, or maybe complete digital silence. But however it ends, the lesson is the same. You can't fake being a good person forever. Eventually the mask falls. Eventually the lies stop working. Eventually the attention dries up. Eventually people move on. McKinley Richardson sold her integrity for a few viral clips, and now she's watching the price tag come due. So what did we learn today? That fame without values isn't fame, it's a countdown. That some people will sacrifice anything, morals, relationships, even self-respect, for a number on a screen. And that you as a viewer have all the power in deciding who rises and who fades. Don't support creators who exploit children. Don't idolize couples who fake love for views. Don't normalize grooming, softcore, or fake trauma as content. Call it out! Unfollow, unsubscribe, and uplift people who actually respect the platform and their audience. Because the internet doesn't need more McKinleys. It needs less. All right, I'm out. Drop a like if you made it this far. Subscribe if you actually believe the internet deserves better. And I'll see you next time on Mr. Stream, your daily dose of drama with zero sugarcoating.